Well, students, good evening to all of you. Today we are going to discuss another B.Ed topic, Indian constitutions and status of education. Right? It is a paper 2. Okay, first topic. So under this topic, we will first understand what is the meaning of an Indian constitution, what are our fundamental rights, feature and importance of fundamental rights, and some of the important articles. Being teacher, being principal, we should aware of that. We should know that. What is Article 14, 15, 16, 21A, 28, 29, 30, 51A, 350, and 351, right? Related with the education, that's why we should know it, right, guys? So first we talk about the Indian Constitution. Indian constitutions or the Constitution of India is the supreme law of India, right, guys? It frames fundamental political principle, procedure, practices, rights, power, and duties of the government. The Constitution of India was adopted on 26th November in the year of 1949, but it came into force on 26th January 1950, right? That's why 25th January is celebrated as the Republic Day of India, right? And this constitution is designed by the Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar. Okay, you can see the image, right, guys? Now we talk about the fundamental rights, right? So these all the rights come under, this constitutions, right? Constitutions of India is the supreme law of India. Fundamental rights are called the basic human rights enshrined in the Constitution of India, which are guaranteed to all citizens. They are applied without discriminations on the basis of race, religion, gender, etc. Article 12 to 35 of Indian constitutions deal with the fundamental right. Right, guys? Being teacher, you should aware, you must know about the fundamental rights because you have to aware the, society. Teacher is the torch bearer of the society. Teacher is the nation builder. Right, guys? So you should know about the fundamental rights. So, guys, these six rights are the articles are the fundamental rights. You can say fundamental rights, human rights. Okay, so these are six fundamental rights of Indian constitution, right? Along with the constitutional article related to them are mentioned below. Okay, so guys, you should know it. Number one, right to equality means in the constitution's article 14 to 18, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, it talks about right to equality. Okay, plus some article talks about equality of, you know, education, some equality of employment, irrespective of color, caste, and creed. Okay, so all are the articles talks about right to equality. Next, right to freedom. Article 19 to 22 talks about right to freedom. Right against exploitation. Article 23, 24, 25, 28, 25 to 28, right to freedom of religion. Then cultural and educational right, Article 29 to 30, and right to constitution's remedies, Article 32. Okay, so it is a general description. Okay, in the coming slide, we will cover these all the articles one after the others. Okay, guys. So like you can say right to equality, Article 14 to 18, right? Article 14 talks about equality before law, of equal protections of law. Article 50 talks about provisions of discrimination on ground of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. Article 16, equality of opportunity in the matter of public employment. Means I just want to say Article 14 till Article 18 talks about the equality. Some article talks about equality in education. Okay, under Article 14 to 18, some article talks about equality of employment, right? Right. So we cover one by one in detail. Okay, starting from the first. This is the first, right to equality. Okay, we are discussing these six, fundamental rights. Okay, we just talked in the previous slide. Now we are doing in detail. Number one, right to equality. Article 14 to 18. guarantees equal right for everyone, irrespective of religion, gender, caste, race, or place of birth in India, right? It ensures equal employment opportunity in the government and ensure against discrimination by the state in the matters of employment on the basis of a caste, religion, and etc. Even state cannot discriminate, these rights. Okay, this right also includes the abolitions of a title as well as untouchability. You can see the figure, guys, right? See the uh, center figure. It is written equality of for all, means we have the equality, for all the, you can say, natural resources. Like for example, last year, during the corona, you are aware of that. Sometimes there was a you know lack of oxygen, not every person was getting the oxygen in hospitals and others, right? So because these are given to the rich person, but it is a wrong, guys. Okay, well, it was against the law, right? Means we all the person on this in India, right? We have the equal opportunity on all the resources. We should know it. We have the right. Okay, so today in this lecture, we are talking about awareness of some of the rights. Some are educational, okay, some are fundamental rights, human rights. We should know it. Okay. Sometimes now being teacher, being B.Ed or M.Ed, we are not aware of these rights, and we forget it, and sometimes we uh, don't care of these terms. But we should know it, guys. We have to give light to the society. This is our duty. We are going to become a teacher. We should know it. Equality for all. See the middle image, and one image you are seeing on the screen. Men and women are equal, right? So why there is a partiality, right? Why the women's are getting the less wages? Why? Because they are also doing the same 8 hours work as the men are doing in offices. You have seen that. But why they are getting a less salary? You have seen in the many places there is an inequality in many places. Why? Because girls are not aware, right? We should be aware that we have the equal rights. If the male is getting such kind of a salary, okay, we are also eligible for that, right? And equality in everything, okay, not in the wages, even equality in education, each and everything, okay. Nobody can stop ki female are uh, inferior than the male, okay, because our constitutions of India, our constitutions gives us right of equality in every field, right? And one figure you have seen that many religion like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christians, and others, they also have the equality. Okay, government cannot say that he is a Muslim, we cannot give the job to that, we cannot give the seat of any courses, medical or engineering and others. Okay, irrespective of any color, card, creed, race. Okay, we have the equality of every resources. Okay, next we talk about right to freedom. So article 19 up to 22 talks about the right to freedom. Okay, so in a freedom, which things we included that. Number one, we have the freedom of speech, right, in India, right? And you have seen that many countries now you cannot speak openly on some of the matters, some of the serious matter. Even we have the right, we have the freedom of speech. We can speak against the government also, okay, if they are not doing their work well. So we have the freedom of speech because our constitution gives us this such kind of facility. We have the freedom of expression also. We have the freedom of assembly without arms. We have the freedom of association. We have the freedom of a practice any profession. Okay, nobody can stop. Either we go to the Hinduism, Muslim, Christian, and we have the freedom to practice any profession, freedom to reside any part of the country. Okay, there is no need of a visa and others. We have the freedom because this rights gives by our constitutions of India, right? So it talks about, you should know, you should be aware, guys. Article 19 to 20 talks about right to freedom, and we have the right? Next aa gaya. Third is right against exploitation. So this is also very important. You should know it for yourself, for your children, for your near and dear. You should know it, right against exploitation. Article 23-24 says that this right implies the prohibitions of traffic in human beings, beggar, and other forms of a forced labor. Many places you have seen that now, many children, they are begging, they are forced to be a this is a punishable, this is a offense, right? It also implies the prohibitions of a children in factories, etc. The constitution prohibits means stop the employment of a children under 14 years in a hazardous condition. Right? You see the figure. See the images. Say no to child labor. Child is meant to learn, not to earn. Right, guys? अब ये देख लो, in our India, in many places, na, if we see such kind of a child labor, we can speak, guys. Okay, we can inform the authorities regarding it, because even it happens most of in the slum areas, right? Because child has a right, even a child has a right to free and compulsory educations up to the age of a 14, right? So he should be given meal, he should be given clothes, he should be given every kind of a facility. Okay, he has the fundamental right of primary educations, or until he or she reaches on the uh, you can say secondary educations, right? Okay, yeah, up to 14 tak, he has the right of first primary educations. Okay, so even in any of the schools, school cannot deny the student of this age. Next, fourth is right to freedom of religion. Freedom of religion, right? We can choose any religion. Okay, it is also this articles 25 to 28 in the constitutions of India, it gives us right of freedom to choose any kind of a religion, right? There is a equal respect given to all religion. There is a freedom of a conscience, profession, practice, and propagations of religion. The state has no official religion. Every person has the right to freely practice his or her faith, establish and maintain religious and charitable institutions, right? So every person, you can see on the picture, right to freedom of religion. Okay, matlab you can become the father, you can become the sister, you can become the in church, right? In in temple, you can become any kind of, you have the religions to you know practice any of the religion. Okay, and even the you can start any you have the right of a charitable institutions, right? So basically such kind of a right now, it protects the minorities. Okay, guys, right? So it has the you have the right. Next, cultural and educational right. Article 29 to 30. These rights protect the rights of religious, cultural, and linguistic minorities by facilitating them to preserve their heritage and culture. Educational rights are for ensuring educations for everyone without any discrimination. Right? So, guys, this right gives us the protections for ensuring the cultural, our religious, culturals, and heritage. Okay, you can see the images, right? Well, we can celebrate our culture. Okay, now there is a India, guys, dekho na, India jo country hai, it is a secularism country. It is a lot of religion. Okay, you know they are putting up in the India. Even in India, you know, there are a lot of days. Hana? We celebrate the Gandhi Day, Guru Nanak Day, Christmas, you know, a lot of days. Hana? You can see that because we have the rights. Okay, in our constitutions of India, Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar designed these articles, right? So we should be aware of these articles, guys. This is also important, right? Next, देखो, this is the important right. Right to constitution's remedies. Article 32 to 35. The constitution's guarantees remedies if citizens' fundamental rights are violated. देखो, this is important. If your fundamental rights ना वो 6 rights हैं, है ना? If they are violated by the government and others, तो ये sixth one, it guarantees remedies if citizens' fundamental rights are violated. The government cannot infringe upon or curb anyone's right. When these rights are violated, the aggrieved party can approach to the court. मतलब if suppose करो some of the powerful person, some of the rich person, है ना, they are violating your right, right? So then Article 6 again, right to constitution's remedies. Okay, you can approach to the court because this right also saves you from such kind of action. Citizen can even go directly to the Supreme Court, which can issue writs for enforcing fundamental rights. Guys, this is the most important. Okay, trust me, you should be aware of that, right? Well, we are not aware of these articles. Any of the persons having rich, having influence, now he comes and start exploiting us. Okay, even we are the literate persons. Okay, we have the knowledge of this, right? These all the articles. Okay, that's why na. आप ये देखो, if these are not important, why it has come in the B.Ed syllabus, right? Because you are going to become teacher. Okay, next we talk about features and importance of the fundamental rights. What are the features or importance of these all 6 fundamental rights which we are discussing? What are the features and importance? Number 1, fundamental rights are the very important because they are like the backbone of the country. They are essential for safeguarding the people interest. Next, people can approach the Supreme Court directly in case of the violations of the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights can be amended by the parliament by a constitutional amendment, but only if the amendment does not alter the basic structure of the constitution. Right? Next, fundamental rights can be suspended during a national emergency, but the rights guaranteed under Article 20 and 21 cannot be suspended. Right? During emergency, it is said that fundamental rights can be suspended, but the rights Article 20 and 21 can't be suspended. Now, guys, we talk about some of the now fundamental rights we have done. Now we talk about list of some important articles which we should be aware of that. Article 21A. आर्टिकल अब ये आगे ना क्लॉजेस आ जाती हैं, राइट? 21A आगे 21, right? 22A, right? So we are talking about Article 21A, right to education. This is a right to education, right? Article 21A declares that state shall provide free and compulsory educations to all. अभी देखो, before starting the lecture ना, I asked one questions from you. Charu ma'am, है ना, gave the correct answer. है ना? I raised the questions. Okay, tell me about the Right to Education Act 2010. And she said that the free and compulsory education should be provided to the children up to the age of 14, right? So she said the correct answer. Even guys, under the Article 21A, it talks about the same thing. देखा? It talks about the same thing, 21A. वो जो मेरा क्वेश्चन था वो तो था Right to Education Act 2010. It made in 2010, but 21A article under the constitution, it also talks the same thing. क्या बोलता है ये article? This article talks about the state should provide the free and compulsory education to the children up to the age of 14, right? It is a fundamental right. Okay. Thus, This provision makes only elementary education a fundamental right and not higher or professional education, right? Higher or professionals, after 10th plus 2 and graduations above, these are the higher educations, okay? But primary educations, elementary educations, we have the right, okay? We can get free and compulsory, okay? Free of cost. We don't have to pay. Even clothing, even meal, it is all, you know, taken care of by the state or the school, okay, who is affiliated with that state, right? Next, Article 28, Constitutions of India, freedom as to attendance at religious instruction. No religious instruction shall be provided in any educational institutions wholly maintained out of state funds. Okay, guys. Article 29, we talk about protections of the interest of minorities. Okay, whosoever is a minority here in India or in any of the state. So Article 29 talks about protections of interest of a minorities. क्या है ये? Number one, any section of the citizen residing in the territory of India or any part thereof having a distinct language, script, or a culture of its own shall have the right to conserve the same. Nobody can stop you, right? If the minority, they have their culture, they have their heritage, they have their customs, okay, nobody can stop that. You cannot celebrate, okay, ऐसा कभी नहीं है, right? Because Article 29 talks about the protections of interest of a minorities. Article 30 talks about the right of a minority to establish and administer educational institutions. Even minorities, not in the Punjab, in anywhere in the India, minorities, because Article 30 talks about the right of minorities, they can start the educational institutions. Okay, nobody can stop. You have seen in Punjab, even many convent schools, okay, they are running by the father and sisters, okay, they have the right to start the educational institution, but they have to follow all the things, okay? अब वो follow कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं, you know better, right? Means they have to provide some of the seats, they have to reserve for the poor persons, for SC/ST person, right? And these all the things they have to follow that. So Article 30 talks about all minorities, whether based on the religion or a language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. कहने का मतलब है, they can start the school, college, university, they can start it, okay, educational institutions of any choice, minorities, and they get the many facilities due to Article 30, right? Next, list of important articles. Article 51A of Constitutions of India, fundamental duty, right? What the 51A, it shall be the duty of every citizen of India. 51A talks about, number one, every citizen of India under the article of 51A, he is to be abide by the constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. आपने देखा होगा नेशनल एंथम होती है ना, we stand up and we respect the national flag, because guys, if we don't that, to Article 50A we are violating the Article 51A and it's a punishable, right? Next, to cherish and follow the noble ideas which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Next, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India. So this is our right. We have to protect, guys, such kind of a sovereignty, unity, integrity, right? We have to, develop peace, right? Next, to promote harmony and the spirit of a common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, and regional or sectional diversities. Okay. This is called national integrations, international integrations. Okay. We have to promote. We don't have to leave on the government, right? We should be aware of that. Government kya cheez hai? Who is government? Okay, it is by the people. Okay, if unless or until we don't change our attitude, okay, we are not aware of that. So how we can expect from the government? Because government is made by the people. We should be aware of it first. We have to create. We have to promote harmony, right? List of important articles. Article 350, again under this heading, Article 350, it talks about language to be used in representations for redress of grievances. So it talks about Article 30, 350 declares that every person shall be entitled to submit representations for the redress of any grievance to any officer or authority of a union or state in any of the language used in the union, as the case may be. So any of a grievances, he can, say about, any of the authority, right? Article 351, directive for the development of a Hindi language. It shall be the duty of the union means center, right, to promote the spread of the Hindi language, to develop it so that it may serve as a medium of expression for all the elements of the composite culture of India. So it talks about the, language spread of disseminations of a Hindi language, right? Okay, guys, thank you so much. So this is all about the, articles, right? It is in your syllabus and it is an important one, right, guys? So today we talk about the, fundamental rights, feature and importance of a fundamental rights, and some of the important articles. Okay, like article 14, 15, 16, 21A, 28, 29, 30, 51A, 350 and 351. Right, guys? Thank you so much, guys, for this lecture. Thank you. So I'm going to stop the recording.